Hello, 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 beautiful unicorns. Welcome back to yet another recorded Get Your Shit Together weekly live guide. So to myself, Yana Kasperczak, it'll be the last recorded one for the year since actually now this is going to be in the new year, January 2nd. So hello and welcome the new year. I hope you are enjoying the group. Those of you who are new to the community, and those of you who are the OGs, original gangsters into the community, that you are still loving it and it is helping you to shift from surviving to thriving. As always, your loyal host, Yana Kasperczak, your certified professional performance and spiritual awakening core energy coach, and it has been my soul's purpose to help women, to help you get your shit together so you can break free from that mental prison you find yourself in and build a life, a business, and or career that you're obsessed with. So today I wanted to talk about something that can help you on this journey to live an obsessed life and build a business that you're obsessed with, and building a business around your life and not your life around your business. And if you have a career, same concept, that you want to build your career around your life and not your life around your career. You you know, our jobs, our careers are not our life. They are part of our life, but not our life. They're not meant to be a priority. And this is why I wanted to talk about, because some of you are also starting your business or planning on starting your business. So this will prepare you a little bit for what's to come. And those of you who are on, so you can get out of this place. And the topic for today is transforming procrastination into purpose. And I wanted to share a 5-step guide for perfectionists. Those of you who are perfectionists, which is, let's be honest, that's probably each and every one of us. You can put your hand down if there is an emoji to put your hand down if you're not a perfectionist, and put your hand up if you are a perfectionist. Or you can just say perfectionist over here or not a perfectionist over here. And all of us are perfectionists. I can say, no, I'm not a perfectionist because I got that shit figured out. But the reality is, a perfectionist is always a perfectionist, whether a recovering perfectionist or not. And just because you understand what it means to be a perfectionist and the fact that it's an illusion itself, it's like if you don't agree and say that you are, it in many ways means that you're denying yourself truth and reality, because in truth and in reality, we're always striving to become better, whether it's a better version of ourselves, a better part of our life, that we want to better something in our life or in our business or in our career. We're continuously growing and evolving. This is what partially perfection is, as well. So perfection often fuels procrastination. This is where it's when you're not aware or you're not approaching perfection itself in the right or healthy ways, it can and does fuel procrastination and avoidance, as the fear of not getting it just right or perfectly often paralyzes action. And here's how you basically start to um, turn your procrastination into purpose. One of the first ways before we fully begin is actually, you know what? I'm sure I'll fit this in one of these steps. So step number one is you gotta recognize the fear behind the procrastination. Procrastination is this wall or this big bear, big scary bear. What are you scared of behind that wall, behind that bear? Procrastination often masks and covers and hides deeper fears. Fear of failure, fear of criticism, fear of judgment, and even fear of success. Really, fear of change, fear of something different, something new that you've never experienced and you don't know what it's going to be like. Part of you knows it'll be great, but there's a lot of doubts that hover over and with this fear. So take a moment to ask yourself, what am I really afraid of? What are you really, truly afraid of? And then one of my favorite questions is, what's the worst that could happen if I don't do this properly? If I only do it 50%? Because sometimes we ourselves can only do it 50% or give our 50% of energy because we only have 60% left of the fuel or of the battery. If what's the worst that could happen if you don't give it you all, if you don't do this perfectly? And through this process, what you're doing is you're identifying and you're naming the fear and naming something. It's like I'm just picturing a crowd of people, and then there's one person that's trying to sneak away from you, and you've been looking for this person, you want to talk to them, and they're just like going like this, hiding through, and then all of a sudden you're like, Yana! You're like, shit, I've been spotted. Right? Maybe you're wearing an outfit that's covered in spots as well, like a leopard print, let's say, right? Or a cheetah print. So when you name something, it's like all of a sudden it stops in its tracks and you see it for what it is. It diminishes its power. You take the power back into your hands and it helps you to move forward with clarity. Because now you see it, now you know, you're like, now you know where Yana is, and you start working towards her and you have that conversation that you've been wanting to have, right? So name it. Name that fear, identify that fear, and you will see and feel that shift within yourself. And the second step would be shift and remind yourself that perfection itself is progress. So shift from perfection to progress. Shift your focus, right? The way that you see perfection. Instead of seeing it based on the fears that you have just identified, recognize it for what it is. That you're it's all about progress. It's all about evolution because it doesn't happen like that. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens little by little. Um, there's a great example with butterflies. And sometimes they'll say, "Oh, we've discovered a new species of butterflies." I think it's monarch butterflies. There's a few different ones that, you know, new butterflies came out. It's the butterfly is, let's call it born, right? Comes out of its cocoon. And based on its travels, based on its life experiences, it is now born, comes out of the cocoon, and it has a little bit of a different color or pattern or design. And then it'll have its offsprings, and then that it passes on that gene onto the offsprings. And now, ooh, guys, we got new species of butterflies. Meanwhile, it's not the new species of butterflies, it's evolution itself. This butterfly evolved to its environment, its surroundings, maybe different foods that it ate. Maybe it was eating chips, and this is the only butterfly that was eating chips out of all the butterflies. And now maybe it has design of a chip on its wings. Right? Maybe it's like, what is it? Pringles or the Dorito, the triangle one. And maybe it comes in different colors and shades. So this is part of evolution. It's progress. It's us evolving. We humans also looked a little different not even that long ago. If we're The one example that comes to mind is the shapes of our bodies. If we look back 50 or 100 years ago, most people were what we refer to now as fit and slim and active. And nowadays, it's the opposite. That's evolution. Now, we can also argue, is this evolution happening in the right direction, in the positive direction, in a direction that we want to evolve as the species, or not? If you watched Wall-E with your kids or by yourself, no judgments, absolute no judgment, because I would like to invite you to watch Wall-E, and you will see how that evolution with humans there happened, and you be the judge. And your body will also tell you as well. Usually speaks up really loud. We just learn not to hear it, not to listen. So shifting your focus, your perception, your expectation from perfection to progress is going to make a massive, massive difference. Perfectionists, perfectionism itself keeps you stuck because the bar itself is always moving. And instead of focusing on progress, you focus on perfection. And this is why the bar continues to move and move and move, and you will never catch it. And this is why it is very helpful and transformative actually to focus on perfection itself as its progress, progressing towards whatever it is that you're progressing towards. If it's healing your inner child, progress every single day. What are you doing to get to that point? If it's progress with decluttering and organizing a space, and if it's a really big space, it's not about, you know, the end result, even though part of it is, it's you doing it one thing, one step at a time, one item at a time. It's great to have that vision, but if you focus on just that end result, the whole entire task might feel too much and impossible. So ask yourself, what's one small action that I can take right now? That's progress. You're not looking at the big, massive picture. You looked at it first. You created a vision for yourself. Maybe you even did a vision board. And now that's done. What's one small step, a small action that you can take towards this goal? Progressing towards it, one step at a time. It's like pretend like you're walking in the dark, and your goal is to walk through this forest in the dark. You can't see really far where you're going. You can only see right what's in front of you as you look down. And that's what you do. You're literally, that's what life is like. It's like you walking in the dark and seeing just one step at a time in front of you and taking those steps. Trusting the process, trusting the universe, and trusting that everything will work itself out. That even if you come to the edge of the cliff, you'll see it and you're not going to fall down. Because honestly, let's be honest, you're cautiously paying attention and you're moving slow and steady. You're not running. Because it's not a marathon. Sorry, it's not a sprint. It's a marathon, and you're going at it slow and steady. So after you have identified that one small step, one small action, commit to that first step, to that small little action, even if it feels imperfect, even if it feels like maybe you're not even ready for it, because it's about compounding effect where you're by taking little steps, little actions, little steps, moving stuff forward, it builds momentum. It builds purpose and it all compounds. And this is how we each grow into our goal, one step at a time, an accumulation of them that makes that up. That makes that growth for us possible to become that person that we uh, were meant to become. Okay, I gotta wrap it up because my son has a class, so I gotta remind him that he has a class. Um, okay, so the third step is, so that was the second step. The third step is breaking it down into manageable bite-sized pieces. If you have a task of eating a whole entire elephant, right, or whole entire pizza, it's a massive one. Let's say it's a party-sized pizza. You can't eat it in one sitting. You can only eat it literally one bite at a time. You gotta chew it and chew it well and swallow and then let the digestion process begin. And then the next bite. So perfectionists often see the entire mountain, they see the whole entire pizza, they see the whole entire elephant, and they get overwhelmed. I speak from experience myself, and I was unable to take any action, any steps. It was feeling that constant overwhelm that I would refer to and call as the pending doom. And it's because I'm looking at the whole entire pizza, the whole entire mountain, as I must climb it all, and it feels and looks so impossible. And yet it is possible. If one person did it, anyone can do it. Just a matter of will, the know-how, training, and consistency, and discipline as well. So it's normal. It is part of the process as you start to heal, uncover your perfectionist within you, and by breaking it into the small tasks, small actionable steps, achievable steps, makes it possible. I got a vision board. I stopped looking at it. I have it there. I don't even look at it. I used to, and it used to overwhelm me because I had to be perfect and I had to do every single thing for every single thing, and it was just too much. With creating a business, it's I can't even begin to tell you just how many different moving parts are in the business, such as ours. And all the businesses, they have a lot of moving parts, and it's figuring out each and every part, how it moves, why it's important, how to keep it moving without me always having to be present, or for some that I got to be present all the time. And then on to the next one, to the next one, and then making sure that all of them are moving constantly and checking in. So there's a lot of different things. And it took me a minute to even begin because my vision for Empathy Unicorn Academy was and still is so massive. We're talking about uh, millions and millions of women being on the receiving end and experiencing everything that we offer and everything that we plan to put under the umbrella of Empathy Unicorn Academy. I couldn't even begin. I couldn't even start. So I needed and had to and chose to break the steps down and put some of them away for later, like later, and just focus on this this goal, this big task, if you will. And then from there, break it down into small steps, and then even smaller, even smaller, even smaller, to a point where it's just one small little things every single day. And we will get there. We will climb that Mount Everest. We will eat that whole entire pizza. We'll eat that whole entire elephant. And it will not affect my digestion because I'm not doing it all at once. I'm doing it a little bit at a time, a little bit every single day, and then we're going to get there. So break it down into manageable pieces. And the examples would be what I've just shared as one example. And another one is if you're writing, let's say, a blog, and Maybe it's the first time you're writing a blog. Start with um, start with committing to outlining just the first section, just the first part of this blog, not the whole entire blog, just the first part. Um, and then another one is instead of cleaning the whole house, start with one drawer, right? If you're looking to declutter and organize the whole entire house, it can feel like an impossible task. But if you focus on today, it's just going to be this drawer, or today's going to be this desk, or today's going to be this room, and then tomorrow it will be a different part. And celebrate each and everything that you complete, each and every step, each and every progress that you make towards your larger uh, BHAG, big, hairy, audacious goal. And then you will get there. You'll get there quicker than you would if you were just focusing on the whole entire picture and the, bird's eye view. The fourth step is reframe your standards. Perfectionism creates unrealistic standards and standards that are impossible to meet. And when you reframe your goal to focus on the value instead of flawlessness, it becomes easier. What's in it for you? How can you love and enjoy the journey that will get you to that end goal, that end destination? And if there's no way you can love and enjoy the journey, then you wouldn't even love and appreciate the goal itself. Because the funnest part is the journey itself and not the actual destination. So, even with vacation, we feel the most excited with the days and weeks leading up to the vacation. And during the vacation, like, okay, it's good, it's chill, it's fun. But you're the most excited leading up to it. Yay, yay, we're going. And then on the way back home, you're like, ugh, life, I hate it. But what if on the way back, you're so excited? You're like, yes, I get to come back. I get to do all these things over and over and over again because I love the process. I love the journey. That's obsessed life. You can have it too. So ask yourself questions. How does completing this task serve a greater purpose? How? What impact will this action have if it's not perfect? So this action that you're about to take might not be perfect, but there's still going to be an impact. So what is that impact that this action will have? And this type of mindset, what it does is it shifts and redirects your energy towards meaningful outcomes and focusing on the journey itself instead of unreachable ideas and goals and aspirations. Um, and also with your standards, you might also even ask, where did you get this idea? Where did you get this standard? How is it serving you? What's in it for you? It might not. And the last step is create accountability and rewards. Hold yourself accountable. Maybe even have accountability partner. And you can share your intentions with that accountability partner, or a coach or a friend to keep you accountable and keep you on point and on task. And you want that person to be someone who will also challenge you, not just say, okay, great job, even if you didn't do anything and you allowed yourself get away with murder, that they're going to challenge you and say, are you sure? What got in the way? Why didn't you do that? How can I help you? How can I make sure that you get this done after? Or how can you make sure that this doesn't happen again? So you give that accountability back to them so that way you're not the one that having to almost always hold their hand. Pair up with an accountability partner and you'll feel the rewards, and it will help you to even reinforce your purpose and your actions as well. Um, Even setting a reminder of focused work and reward yourself with each and every break. A reminder can be for um, work for 25 minutes and 5 minutes or 10 minutes break. I like 45-minute work, 15-minute break, 45-minute work, 15-minute break, 45, 15, 45, 15. Because it does take about 22 minutes and like 13 seconds to fully switch from one task to another, and be fully in that task. And whenever you reach a certain milestone, treat yourself to something that you love and enjoy. It doesn't have to be involve any money. It could be even just taking a bath, taking a walk, reading a book, or watching a show you've been wanting to watch, or just chill and relax. Whatever it is that will recharge you and refuel you, do that. And remember that when you have these purposeful rewards, it reminds your brain that progress is important, and the focus is not on perfection, it's on progress, and it is worth celebrating. And the last one I would like to add is when it comes to procrastination, you can procrastinate with purpose and on purpose. This was one of the ways that I procrastinated. I had a list of to-do list, and there's certain tasks. One of the hardest tasks for me was to do anything for the business, because of that big image that I had in my mind constantly. I just could not show up for it. And what I would do is I know that there's something coming up that I got to do for the business. And I would feel a lot of different feelings and emotions and triggers and anxiety and panic attacks, and just wanted to escape and avoid. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to procrastinate on purpose. Meaning that I'm going to look at all the other things that I have on my list, on my to-do list, and I'm going to do one, two, or three of those things. So that way I'm avoiding and I'm procrastinating, not doing the actual thing that I'm supposed to do or should be doing, but I'm getting other things done that are also important to do. And by getting them done, now I feel the confidence building up from completing one, another, that when it comes time to, okay, now I leaving it last minute project, like doing it last minute, then I have no problem with doing it. And because now I'm recharged by rebuilding my confidence and going at it with, I'm not procrastinating, but I am procrastinating with purpose and on purpose, which means by choice, that I'm aware and I'm choosing to procrastinate, and I'm still getting other things done that at one point or another felt just as big and challenging as this one is. So that's all I want to say and share with each and every one of you for today. And just a last reminder that purpose thrives in action and not in hesitation. When we start shifting our focus from achieving perfection to making progress, we start to reclaim our time, our energy, and our confidence, and rebuild our confidence in ourselves. And procrastination can transform into a powerful tool for that helps us to reflect our growth when we approach it with self-compassion and intention. So, if you're gonna procrastinate, procrastinate on purpose, with purpose, and for a reason, and not doing things that are not moving you or your life forward in a different way than from the one that you're trying to avoid and procrastinate. So you can still do other things and complete those things. And we all love check marks, check marks, check marks. So start going down that list. That's all that I wanted to share for today on this topic of transforming procrastination into purpose, and sharing the 5-step guide for perfectionists, such as yourself, such as myself. So thank you, everybody. Next week I will be live, so I am looking forward to that. I am excited, and I'm sure I'm enjoying my vacation as well. And I know myself that I am itching to get back into the flow of things and just having my days with, you know, the kids at school and me enjoying building this business together with Anna. So that is all. Looking forward to hearing from each and every one of you with your biggest takeaway from today's lesson, and what are you going to do about this takeaway? What action are you going to take? And make sure it's not a big, massive action. And until we see each other next week at 11:45 a.m. Eastern Time for another one of these Geisha Together weekly live guidance where I will be live, or we'll see each other on Monday for the weekly card reading that I will be live for as well in the group, 11:45 once again. Or maybe we'll see each other in the podcast or in story time with myself. And until next time, have an amazing the rest of your New Year day or second day of the new year. Bye, everybody.